In February 2026, a home security camera recorded something unsettling. The camera was placed outside a house on a quiet residential street in Ohio, USA. The street is near a large patch of forest, so the residents aren't unaccustomed to hearing strange noises at night and occasionally seeing wild animals running around. But what was captured by the security camera that night seems to have no logical explanation. Something passes by the camera at incredible speed, almost too fast to see. When the footage is slowed down, it becomes a little clearer. It's a dark shape moving incredibly fast. Other than that, it's hard to say what it could be. Creepiest of all, it was apparently caught on 2 separate cameras on 2 separate houses. That means that whatever this was, it wasn't an isolated incident caused by a glitch in a single camera. Some viewers have suggested it might have been a bird flying past, but others have pointed to the almost unnatural speed it is moving at. It seems very unlikely that any bird would be able to fly that quickly. Many viewers think that what was caught by the security camera is actually something paranormal, but what do you think? CCTV cameras often record things that just don't make sense. That's exactly what Reddit user Careful Abracoma364 believes happened at their father's workshop. They uploaded the footage to the R Paranormal Encounters subreddit, hoping someone could make sense of what was recorded. Their father's workshop is located in a remote area, sitting beside a road and some railway tracks. The father installed CCTV cameras to deter thieves and vandals. Just like in the previous entry, the CCTV cameras are motion activated, so they trigger only whenever something moves past them. Most nights, they capture nothing more than the occasional car passing by, or maybe a stray animal. But late one night, at exactly 3:47 AM, one of the cameras recorded something no one expected.
Spooky.
A figure in a long white dress seems to walk past the camera. The OP explains that the figure walks behind the workshop towards a fenced off dead end. Behind the fence is only railway tracks, the road, and then an almost endless stretch of forest. Nothing triggered the camera again. Nothing came back. Whoever this was, it's like they simply disappeared into the night, never to be seen again. What also spooked the OP was the remoteness of the area. They say it's usually very quiet at night. There are no pubs, there are no restaurants, bars, houses, or shops nearby. So, what would a person in a long white dress be doing walking around in the middle of the night? Since the OP uploaded the footage to the R Paranormal Encounters subreddit, it would seem they think this figure is some kind of ghost. But what do you think? Let me know down below. Sometimes children are more sensitive to paranormal energy than adults, so ghosts and spirits often gather around them. Sammy, a mother from South America, believes this is exactly what happened to her twin sons. One day, she is recording her sons playing, and that's when something happens that sends a chill down her spine.
¿Qué pasó?
As the boys run into another room, laughing and shouting, something else can be heard. It sounds like a voice saying, Sammy didn't really notice it at the time. She was too focused on recording her sons. However, when she watched the video later that night, she heard the voice clearly. Freaked out, she uploaded the video to her social media, and it immediately went viral. Sammy's followers speculated that the voice could have belonged to a ghost, and some believe that it might had been the voice of a relative who passed away, telling the boys to be quiet from beyond the grave. A few days later, Sammy uploaded a follow-up.
Yo no escuché esa voz hasta que yo vi el video porque me lo dicen y ya escucho. No se parece a la voz de mi hijo, por eso subí el video, porque no se parece. O sea, yo conozco a mis hijos, no se le parece. Para mí se escucha una voz de mujer. Y otra cosa es que, pues ellos no hablan todavía, tienen 2 años, o sea, no hablan así tan corrido como se escucha en el video. No pronuncian bien las palabras aún. Y en el video se aprecia donde dicen nona, nona, nona.
To this day, Sammy has no way to logically explain what she captured on camera. Many of her viewers commented that the boys seemed to be saying, which is sometimes used as an affectionate name for a grandmother in Spanish. But what do you think? Did the voice belong to their grandmother who passed away? Let me know. Irene Bedard, an actress from the United States, was arrested twice over the course of just 3 days. After she was released from police custody the first time, the authorities were later called to a hotel in Ohio where Irene was causing trouble. The officers on duty were responding to a 911 call from hotel staff who wanted Irene removed from the premises. Following protocol, they switched on their body cameras when they arrived at the scene, but they ended up recording more than just a regular arrest.
Who are you?
I'm the voice of Pocahontas.
Really?
Yeah, you're gonna find me in your thing right now.
Why would I do that?
Because I am a 53-year-old Native American woman who has had enough. That's it.
It's your cell phone.
I don't know what that is.
Stop.
I don't know what that is.
Stop.
Irene backs down a corridor, claiming, "I don't know what that is." The police officer assumes she's referring to her cell phone, which he's holding out to her, but viewers notice something else in the footage. Did you see it? Something dark can be seen near the ground. Many have said it looks like it's rising up out of the floor. The police officer doesn't seem to notice it, but some viewers have speculated that Irene does.
I don't know what that is.
Stop.
A young man living alone somewhere in the Appalachian Mountains region of the United States claims that he is being haunted. It all began when he'd wake up in the middle of the night thinking he could see a smoky figure sitting on top of him. At first, he thought he was experiencing sleep paralysis, a condition that makes a person unable to move when they first wake up. During these moments of paralysis, people often experience scary hallucinations of something hovering above them or on top of them. The man went to therapy in order to try to get rid of the sleep paralysis, but it kept happening. He even began waking up with cuts and scratches on his arms, as if he really had been trying to fight something off in his sleep. With no end in sight, he sets up a motion detector camera in his bedroom and living room, thinking that if something really is haunting him, he could catch evidence of it. He hopes he really is just having sleep paralysis hallucinations and nightmares, but then his camera captured this. A dark shadow appears to be on top of the man, and viewers say it looks very similar to other smoke-like figures they have seen. The man says the camera captured it after it detected motion in his room in the early hours of the morning when it was still dark and the man was fast asleep. He admits that he raised his arm in his sleep, and that's what might have triggered the camera, but viewers think it's strange that the man appears to be reaching out and touching the smoke figure, almost like he's trying to push it away from him. So, is this a case of simple sleep paralysis, or is it something much darker? Let me know. A middle-aged couple moved to a remote cabin near Lake Michigan in the United States. Their daughter had grown up and started her own family, so they decided to retire to their dream home. At least that's what they thought it would be. Not long after moving in, they started experiencing what they believe is paranormal activity. It began with strange noises outside. First, they dismissed it as animals moving through the underbrush and branches creaking in the wind. But then, they started hearing voices in empty rooms and seeing objects moving on their own. All of this made them wonder, could their home be haunted? Late one night in the middle of winter, they're jolted awake by terrifying sounds coming from the woods outside. The husband jumps out of bed to check what's happening, but he can't see anything. The noises continue, so he pulls out his phone and starts recording.
Wait for it. Listen. Trees are just falling left and right. Sounds like a war zone out here. These are the ones that I'm concerned about. We're losing whole trees.
Deciding not to risk going out, they wait until morning to investigate, and not far from the house, they discover something truly unsettling. Dozens of trees have come down, but they don't look like they fell naturally. They look like they were ripped from the ground by some unseen force. A few days after they discover the fallen trees, the wife is home alone when she notices one of the ceiling lights flashing on and off. She starts recording, planning to send the video to her husband.
So this is day 3 of the weird, strange occurrences at our house. Right now this light has been steadily blinking for about 20 minutes and maybe 10, and I just don't understand why. Okay, now it's like not blinking at all. I guess it's okay now. But that and the hearing the voices and stuff sometimes. Hello? 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 Who's here? Who's here? Okay, I'm kind of freaked out. Going back inside the house. See what I mean though? This is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, why is this stuff happening? I'm really thinking about moving away. I think that we should move away. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Creeped out by the flashing light, the wife is truly horrified when a chair suddenly moves all on its own. Then, a door violently slams open and shut. She screams and runs, convinced that all this is linked to something paranormal. She even mentions, quote, the voices, and wanting to move out in the video. After this terrifying experience, the couple does some research into the history of their property. What they discover chills them to the bone. Their home was built on the site of an old shack, where an evil witch was said to have lived centuries ago, and local legends claim she cursed the land before she was driven out. Now, the couple believes they are being haunted by the witch's ghost, and they are seriously considering abandoning their dream home. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, another homeowner thinks they are also being haunted by a ghost. Many kids around the world have nightmares about monsters hiding in their closets. Usually, we forget about these childish fears when we grow up. However, one teenager in the USA claims there really is something in her closet, and whatever it is, it's not friendly. One evening, just as she and her family are winding down for bed, the teenager is relaxing in her bedroom. She is chatting with a friend on her phone and decides to record a video to send them, but before too long, her gaze wanders to the closet door and she sees something there that immediately puts her on edge.
But yeah, it was super fun. Yeah, I'll see if you can come over in a bit. You should bring your dog.
The recording ends abruptly, as if the teenager quickly dropped her phone and ran out of the room. She later uploaded the footage to her social media, and the only context she gave was that she was planning to buy sage to cleanse her room. That suggests she believes this is something paranormal. Commenters speculate that it could be a mimic, a kind of paranormal entity that copies the appearance, sound, and actions of humans in order to feed off fear. Others think it might not have been paranormal at all, but an intruder. On the other side of the world, another parent also set up a security camera in his child's room. It was just meant to be a baby monitor, with the footage fed live to his phone. At the time, he didn't expect to catch anything concerning on camera. But one night, long after the boy has gone to sleep, the father gets a notification on his phone that his son is out of bed. He immediately checks the footage and sees something that makes his blood run cold.
I was filming on the dome camera a couple of days ago, and I noticed something at the bottom of my son's bed, which I'll also include a little screenshot of it if I can. With a picture, but you can just see it just there, under there, like that. Now, I thought when I got the notification that my son had got out of bed and he was facing the camera at the bottom of the bed, I thought that was his little face. But then when you press play on the video, it flies off. See that? Let's go back. Play it again. Flies off. Keep dragging it back. You can just see it.
Something can be seen at the end of the boy's bed. The father thought it was his son, but then it appeared to fly off the moment the camera registered it. When he checked, he found the boy fast asleep in bed, and there was nothing out of the ordinary in his bedroom. So, what is this? The father says he didn't believe in ghosts before, but what he caught on camera that night made him question everything. Herb Explorers is a social media account specializing in exploring haunted and abandoned locations. The account is run by two friends. While exploring a forest far from the nearest town, they come across a strange opening in the forest floor. As urban explorers, they immediately see an opportunity to get some interesting footage, so they decide to see what's down there. To their surprise, they find that the hole leads to a winding system of tunnels. They quickly lose track of where they are and find themselves lost. Panic rising, they spend hours trying to find their way back to the entrance. They eventually find their way out, but not before recording some highly disturbing things. Scattered all over the floor are pieces of children's clothing, and if that wasn't disturbing enough, not long after entering the tunnels, something appears on camera, something the urban explorers didn't notice at the time. When the footage is slowed down, viewers say it looks like someone with dark hair, a pale face, and glowing red eyes. After spotting the explorers, it even appears to vanish into the tunnel wall itself. Viewers aren't sure what to think of this strange footage, and neither are the urban explorers. They almost want to go back to the mysterious hole in the forest, just to see what's really down there, but for now, they're just too scared. Children around the world have imaginary friends. It's not usually anything to worry about, but one parent recently noticed her son acting strangely and started to question whether his friend was really imaginary or more real than she first thought. She explains that she'd catch him talking to someone when no one was around, and that she would find his toys in random places around the house. Concerned, she set up a security camera in her son's playroom, and soon enough, the camera caught something unsettling. His arm seems to be pulled upwards on its own, as if something we can't see grabbed it. Almost at the same moment, a nearby teddy bear appears to move, with no obvious cause. The boy's mother thinks it looks as if his, quote, imaginary friend was trying to get his attention. She is freaked out by what she caught on camera. Part of her thinks she is just being paranoid and jumping at shadows, but the other parts think there might be something genuinely paranormal going on. And if you think that's creepy, this next clip will really scare you. A woman in the USA believes she is being haunted by her sister's ghost. The woman's sister, Jeanette, passed away after battling an illness for several months. During that time, she often joked that after she passed away, she'd come back as a ghost and annoy her loved ones. The woman didn't think much of it at the time. She just thought of it as a bit of morbid humour to lighten the mood. But then some strange things started happening, and she couldn't shake the feeling that it was Jeanette keeping her promise. It started with seemingly random things, like losing objects only for them to turn up in odd places, or hearing the TV suddenly switch on in another room. And then, one night, the woman recorded something that, in her mind, is solid evidence that Jeanette's ghost really is haunting her.
Do you hear it? I'm telling you. Oh my god. Dude. I'm telling you, it's Jeanette.
Although no one appears to be touching it, the microwave sounds as if someone is pushing its buttons. Then the dishwasher starts beeping as well. The woman tearfully says that it must be her sister Jeanette. She thinks that Jeanette really did keep her promise to come back as a ghost. Maybe by causing random little disturbances, Jeanette's ghost is sending a sign that she's still here, still watching over her sister. A young man recently posted to the Our Paranormal Encounters subreddit, where he claimed to have evidence of a ghost caught on camera. The OP explains that he used to work in a party store, the kind of place that sells birthday cards, decorations, and balloons. It should have been a fun place to work, but the OP claims he and his co-workers were tormented by a ghost whenever they were on shift. Things got so bad, the OP eventually quit and found a job elsewhere, but not before he finally caught evidence of what he says is the ghost that haunts the store.
What the
The store security cameras capture a balloon seeming to detach itself from a display. It then drifts through the aisles, taking several sharp turns until it reaches the office, where the OP is working at the desk. When he feels the balloon brush against his legs, he looks down and assumes one of his co-workers must have left it there from the previous evening. But here's where it gets really spooky. After seeing the balloon under his chair, the OP claims that he carries it out into the hallway and leaves it there while he finishes working. 15 minutes later, one of his co-workers comes to the office and says that she had to pop a balloon because it was, quote, following her around the break room. It was the same balloon that had drifted into the OP's office.